It has to be, and this is the biggest one, specific and measurable. I want to become a better person. I want to build a team. What's a team? How many people? Right? So you got to be really specific. I want to lose weight. How much? How much do you want to weigh? Time bound. When do you want to accomplish these goals by? Even a year is a really long time. In a different slide, we talk about make a 3-month goal, a 6-month goal, 9-month goal, 12-month goal, quarterly goals, whatever. Reasonable but challenging. Most people are not going to become a millionaire overnight, right? Or even this year. So reasonable but challenging. And obviously, it has to be thoroughly planned. Some people get really engulfed in the goal setting process, and everyone, like it's on social media, people have vision boards and stuff like that, and that's cool. It's a step, and I believe in that as well, but you got to have a plan. What is your plan? Part of what Primerica does is it gives you the ability, it gives you a vehicle to get the things on that vision board, right? Because you working for the bank is not going to get you, courtside at the game that you've always wanted to go to. It's just not going to happen. So at Primerica, we're like, hey, here's a business opportunity, unlimited income. You can make nothing, but you can make a lot. And then you devise a plan. But that can be in any area of your life. This is one of the best visuals I ever saw. Okay. Why aren't people like, if I talk to someone and I'm like, yeah, we got to learn to sell. We got to pass the test. We got to learn some presentations. We got to talk to people, mostly people we know, but sometimes people we don't know. We got to also hire some people, right? And when you hire people and you have a team, sometimes a team can be a pain in the ass, but you got to be a leader. You got to be a better manager. You got to go through all these things. And someone's like, oh, no. I can't do that. I don't want to do that. Right? Why? Because in your mind, you don't understand it. It's like, what's the big deal? But it's because the size of their goals are so small that it makes the price that you have to pay here too big. That's not worth it. Right? So everybody wants to lose weight, but if we say, hey, you can't have carbs, well, I don't want to lose weight that bad. Price is too big. Price is too big. In anything, anytime you want to go to a higher level, there's got to be some sacrifices and people reconsider. It's just like at an auction, right? When the price starts out low, who's going to bid? Everybody's got their hand up. Price starts going higher, hands start going down. Why? Because as the price goes up, people are not willing to commit at that level. So if you are the type of person, like some people say, hey, Samir, what do you say when someone says, I love my job, I love the money I make, I love my boss, I don't know what you guys are talking about, I'm going to be here forever, I'm completely fine with the amount of savings I have and my lifestyle. What do you say to someone like that to recruit them? You don't. You say, very nice meeting you. It's very rare I meet someone as happy as you. And you move on. Why? There's nothing I can do to make this bigger. That is an intrinsic thing inside someone. I'm looking for people with big goals, big desire. Then the price, it doesn't mean anything. Yeah, think about things I can do for my parents, with my time, with my money, what all the experiences that I've had, all the places that I've been, all the freedom of time that I have. I mean, what was sitting down with people and just presenting an opportunity, them saying yes or no, sitting down, presenting products and services, them saying yes or no, and then just doing it over and over again. It's not a big deal for where I am, and I'm not even close to where I want to be in this company. So we look for people with big goals because then it makes the price worth it. Almost like, oh, really? That's all we have to do? That's what you want to do. What kind of goals? Financial goals. You can have a net worth goal. You can say, hey, 30 years from now, work backwards. I have a net worth goal for when I turn 50, right? And I've had that goal for the last 10 years. income this year and 3 years from now, family goals, marriage goals, children goals, physical goals, spiritual goals. There's all kinds of goals. So first 90 days, right? In the short term, you can write down. Now I'm going to just talk about business. You can set all the kind of goals that you want in any area of your life. Obviously, let's talk about our business. How many new recruits do you want to recruit in the first 90 days? So maybe you usually recruit none. So maybe for you in the first 90 days, if you got 5, if you got 10, maybe, right? That would be a good goal. How many families help? That's sales. How many people you want in the meeting? Is there a promotion you want to achieve? Is there an amount of money you want to make? Is there a license you want to get? Obviously, like the Life or Securities. Books and audios. It is amazing, man. You follow people, that are high achievers, and it's like, man, you got a podcast, you're writing books, you're all over the world, you're on interviews, you're writing a Substack, meaning like it's a newsletter you're sending out. And then on top of that, these people have goals where they read a book a week on top of all of that. It's amazing. And they have families and they have children, and it's like there's so much that you can do, man, in a year. It's crazy. And you can set all kinds of goals. And then this is a big one. If you want to build an agency, how many new licensed reps do you want on your team in the first 90 days? So what is an action plan? Create daily disciplines, write goals daily. Every morning I write down, my affirmations, and I write down my goals. What are your daily disciplines? Maybe you are going to take 10 minutes on your lunch break every day, and you're going to set appointments to get in the field with your trainer. Or if you're already a trainer, you going out and setting appointments with one of your recruits, whatever it is. Daily discipline of talking to a certain amount of people. When I started Primerica, I was working 30 hours a week, and I was a college student, and I would always get 5 names and numbers a day of people that were interested in our business opportunity. Sometimes it would take 5 minutes, sometimes it would take an hour. But I did that every single day, 7 days a week. Have a daily planner. So Primerica people have devised their own that's more appropriate for our business, but any kind of planner where you can write your goals down and kind of write your schedule, write out your pipeline, and have non-negotiable activities. Like, what can you break it down to? Like activity that you can do on a daily basis, no matter what, non-negotiable. Whether it's raining, it's snowing, you're sick, it doesn't matter, you're always going to do it. Mm-hmm. Now with social media, I mean, you could be on your deathbed sending out messages. Yeah. Right? Yeah, sure. So, really what it comes down to is self-discipline. You got to set the goals, you have to have an action plan, you got to be really disciplined. That's another thing, man. People have no discipline. People that know me, I've never not never, but I rarely say, oh, I'm doing this. And then you come to me 2 weeks later, I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. It's just not the type of person that I've become. I used to be that person, right? But if I'm doing a certain type of workout, a year from now, I'm probably still doing something, that workout. If I'm eating a certain way, I'm sticking to that. If I've given something up, I've given it up, right? That's the kind of person you want to be. You want to be very consistent. And you want to create backup plans. It's easy for plans to fall through because something happened that kind of threw you off track. Like I said, if it rains, if it snows, if you're sick, you got to be consistent. I remember when I was only in high school, and one of my cousins was a personal trainer, and he was also like a mentor to me, right, when I was in high school. And I would just, college, and I would talk to him all the time. And one day I talked to him, and he was like, yeah, dude, I'm really, really sick. And I was like, oh, I hope you feel better. I called him the next morning, And I'm like, hey, do you feel better? He's like, yeah, I feel a little better. I'm like, where are you? Sounds like you're not home. He's like, oh, I'm in my car. I'm like, what are you doing? And he goes, just to stay in the habit, I'm not going in the gym, but I just drove here. That's actually smart. That's why I said it. He's already in the habit. He doesn't want to lose the habit. Winners are scared of losing a habit. Most people, they can't do it long enough to build the habit. Right? Just so you know, I mean, these are the crazy things that people do to win. Upgrade your beliefs. Right? What do we say? People have a lack of belief in themselves. I can't do this. I'm not good at this. I suck at this. Change that around. Right? People say, I'm always tired. Don't say it anymore. I always have enough energy. I'm always excited. I'm always amped up. I have more than enough energy to accomplish all my tasks. 3 types of limiting beliefs. World, people, yourself. We talked about that. Work on this. Actually, like, you know, there's books on this. What you say when you talk to yourself. Analyze. Some people, like, you just saying a bunch of things. Why don't you hear what you're saying? That's why if you're around me, I just don't talk that much because I'm always calculating what I'm saying. Not that I'm scared to say the wrong thing, but it's like I'm not just spewing stuff out all the time. I try to think about what I'm saying. And people, you got to have that kind of discipline. Because what I'm saying, yeah, of course it can affect him, but it's also affecting me, right? Affirmations are awesome. People teach this to their kids. I know my friends are saying these affirmations to their kids when they're taking them to school, right? Affirming certain things. This is how you're supposed to talk to yourself. Most people they're not very nice to themselves. I suck, I'm bad at this. You know, one of the worst things that you can say is, that's the story of my life when something bad happens. How often do people do that? Yes. Right? Oh man, this happened, of course. That's the same thing. When you're like, of course. What's the new one now? FML?
Oh,
You've
my
never heard me say
God.
that before. No one in here.
Oh my God.
Some people, you've spent an exorbitant amount of time with me. You've never once heard me say something like that.
Yeah.
I just don't talk like that. It was trained in me. You have to work on it. You know, I started to, I don't know what happened. I just started cursing, right? Like all the time. And then Shaq was, but see, it takes something to change it, because Shaq picks up his phone in the car, okay? And then who's in the car with him? His kids. So he always warns me. He said, hey, you're on speaker. I got my kids in the car. It's fine. 2 seconds later, I yell. Like he said something, I was like, mother effer, right? And he goes, dude, come on. Hey, he told me later, he was like, my daughter's face, like she was mortified. And then so, you know, I started, people around me started challenging, all right, I'm a pig, right? I don't like to, you know, so it's like, you said it again. And it's just like, it was so difficult. But then after a week, you know, I'm down to like 90% of this out of it. You know, because that's the problem, is like these habits that just get carried away, and then it's a wrong setting in front of the wrong people, and it can cost you, right? So instead of saying really negative stuff to yourself, you have to make, you know, isn't it nice when someone gives you a compliment? Everybody loves it. You can compliment yourself, man. You can say things to yourself that are nice. Today, I will find a brand new superstar direct. These are for us who are really in the business, yes, right? Yes. Like you want to find one great new person can change your entire life, your entire business. Why not say that could be today? You know? Making money excites me and energizes me. I'm a success in all that I do. I'm totally confident. I have absolute certainty in my ability to generate any amount of income that I choose. So these came out of a book. Obviously, you can paraphrase and make it in your own language, right? I'm committed, determined, and passionate in what I do. I'm very focused and persistent. Like this is for someone who always says, I'm just so distracted. I never say things like that, but people say it. I'm very focused and persistent. So maybe you're trying to say the opposite, even if it's not true, just because that's kind of where it starts. Doesn't mean you're going to believe all this stuff right away, but you got to start talking about it. This is my favorite one. I write it down every day. I attract all the right people to help me grow my business. I always say that, right, to myself. This is another one I write down every day. Money is flowing to me from both expected and unexpected sources. I get phone calls all the time, emails all the time. I want to invest money. I want to buy insurance. I want you to meet my friend. It's like, damn, this email is worth 10 grand to me. And I don't, and then I say, hey, this always happens. I love this. This always happens to me. So if I say that's a story of my life, it's a good thing, not a bad thing, right? Because I want to keep reaffirming that. And then, people get creative with this stuff. They have the vision boards, they have posters, they have goal cards, they have pictures of different things. They have things in their mirror, car, bedroom. And this is not, I've gone to people's homes where I see these things. And now, obviously, on social media, people are putting it out there in the universe, all the stuff that they want to do and have and all that, and, whatever. So out of sight, out of mind. This is all, it's all, you can write down your goals and, before the year starts, and then you kind of tuck it away somewhere, and then it's out of sight, it's out of mind. You have to constantly remind yourself what you're trying to accomplish. All right. I think that's pretty much all I have. Does anybody have any questions?